DIY or Die, Walker Vapor Group LLC, or any of its associates do not condone nor encourage the use of nicotine, vapor products, or any mood-altering substances without the explicit consent of a physician. The content viewable on this channel is strictly for entertainment purposes only and not meant to be seen as informational or educational. Must be 21 years or older to view these materials.
Silky beat. What's up, mixers? Welcome back to another episode of the MIXINVIXENS. My name is Emily, also known as Mel Nikon, and let's say hello to our other Vixens. We've got the lovely Rin Vapes.
Hi.
Hello. And we have Lumi. Hi, Lumi.
Hi.
Hello. We are short a couple Vixens, but that's okay. It'll still be a great show. We have a good mix for you this week. As you can probably see on the corner there, it's an ice cream sandwich. How's everyone's weekend?
It's pretty good. I didn't do much. I bowled. We won our first half of the league or whatever, so we're guaranteed to play at the finals, so that's exciting.
Oh, that's fun. Exciting. Good.
Yeah. Didn't expect it.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, when you started, you told them you're like, don't expect to do good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm still not doing great, but I'm getting better.
Awesome. How about you, Lumi? How was your weekend?
It's been eventful. I played video games with Rin. Did some cleaning. I took my sister out to pamper her after having a really rough week yesterday, and then came home, watched some fights, the kicky punchy kind, and then I did my Patreon episode for TMI on I'm No Joe's channel.
Fun. Very cool. I had a pretty good weekend. Yesterday I spent it with friends. We all had dogs, so we took our dogs down to the beach and went walking and let them play around and stuff. That was fun. And then we had games night last night. Played Monopoly. And then today I went shopping with a friend and bought some new stuff. So that's always fun.
Is it not cold where you are?
No, actually yesterday it was like in the 50s. It wasn't too bad. Yeah. Like we didn't go swimming. We just walked along the beach and let the dogs go swimming.
Yeah, it's like 30 here. I couldn't imagine going to a beach.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's actually not too bad the last few days. So it was rainy, but you know what? Got some awesome rain boots and a pretty good rain jacket, so it doesn't bother me. It's always raining here. You have to learn to just be okay with it and do things anyway, or otherwise you won't ever do things because it's always raining.
Yeah, I love rain. I'd love that.
Yeah, you need to come. I think you'd fit right in here.
I'm waiting for you to find me a husband.
Yeah, I do. I gotta find you a man to sponsor you.
I've been getting you so many husbands lined up, Rin. What do you mean?
Oh my God, no. Are they willing? Just because you throw them at me doesn't mean they want to be thrown.
I don't know.
They're not in Canada. I need a Canadian citizen. I'm trying to move.
Yep. Working on it. I don't really know any straight single guys. So.
Damn.
We'll find you one. All right, guys, let's get into our mixing talk. Did you guys enjoy this profile?
I'm sad that my one-on-one butter pecan is out of commission. It officially is bad and has no flavor whatsoever. So that kind of put a wrench in my plans.
Boo. Because it's like, of all the butter pecans, I think that one is my favorite.
It is, but luckily I had a backup. And I mean, it's pretty close. It's still really good, so have backups, people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to pick you up some new one-on-one. How about you, Lemmy? Did you like this profile?
I mean, I'm the one that picked it for the first one of the month, so
True.
of course I was looking forward to this.
That's true. And I was too. And I was so excited for this. I'm like, because it's like bakeries, it's right on my alley. And it did not disappoint. Mine turned out freaking fantastic. In fact, I almost like was selfish and saved it for a one shot. Use it for a one shot instead and make something else. I'm like, no, the people deserve a wonderful mix. So I used it for the show.
You could always slightly tweak it and turn it into a one shot.
I could, but I don't know. We'll see. We got some other ideas brewing. So, all right. Well, let's just jump into it, guys. It's gonna be a short show since it's just the three of us. So let's just jump into it. Who would like to go first?
I think we should wreck J-Dub's recipe since she's not here.
All right, yeah, that's right. She did. She even though she's not here, she submitted a recipe. So why don't you walk us through it, Ren?
All right, so it is not officially verified, but it's still quite a lot. So we have 1% Bavarian Cream by TFA, 2% Flavor West Butter Pecan by Flavor West, 0.5% of Flavor Art Cookie, 1.5% Cookie Bite by Mullenberry, 0.75% Meringue by Flavor Art, 0.3% Nut Mix by Flavor Art, and 4% Capella Sugar Cookie. And there are no notes, so sorry about it.
Have you ever tried that Cookie Bite, Ren?
I did. There was something in it I didn't care for.
Me too. And I was so hyped about it because like everybody have been using it, and I'm like I even got someone to send it to me from the States, and I was really excited. And then I'm like, there's just something about it that just doesn't sit well with me.
It felt very lackluster for the hype that was behind it. It was very dry and kind of dull. Like I could see it being an additive to some things, but for the hype that was behind it, I feel like it was pretty lackluster.
Well, there might be a good backup to the FA cookie,
Yeah. And I imagine it's pretty nut heavy because that nut mix is pretty strong on top of the butter pecan. So I imagine that's coming out quite a bit. And then sugar cookie might help calm down that cookie bite too.
Yeah, and the little bitterness sometimes you get from the nut mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty decent. That Flavor West butter pecan. I said one-on-one is my favorite, but like there's just nothing like Flavor West. Like it's just so like rich and buttery,
Yeah, it was my favorite before tasting one. So, yeah.
Very good, Jen. This looks good and relatively short for her.
I can go next because it kind of segues from that.
Sure.
So, as I stated, my one-on-one is down for the count. So I had to use Flavor West Butter Pecan, 1%. Then I used Cookie Butter by Jungle Flavors at 1% because I wanted some of the spice notes. Because if you look at the cookie, it looks like there's some kind of spice going on, whether it's cinnamon, whatever. So I used that in tangent with Soft Baked Cookie Base by Mullenberry at 2%. 0.5% Flavora Cream, and that pairs with the Vanilla Ice Cream by Vape Train at 2% as like the ice cream inner part. Now the soft cookie base is supposed to be part of what Cookie Bite is, and I will say that I much prefer this to that.
Yeah, okay.
So I think whatever off note I was getting from the cookie base is not in the soft baked cookie base.
Okay.
So
that's good to know.
Yeah. I quite liked it. I wanted the cookie butter, the spice notes to come out more, but it seemed to almost kind of just blend in with the butter pecan. So it was more of like it became part of the butter pecan than it became part of the cookie.
Yeah.
But it's still good. I like it. It was kind of a last minute revision I did a couple days ago, so I don't know how it'll steep out.
The Jungle Flavors cookie butter to me is like, it's like a little too like spicy. Like I get like clove or something in it that I don't personally like, but
I love it. I mean, at 1%, it's fairly mild. And then having the other cookie in it, it lightens it a bit. So if you do find it too overpowering, maybe layer it with another cookie. Or you can use Wonder Flavors cookie butter if you're not looking for the spice, because there's not much in there.
Yeah, I was
But
wondering what you thought about the soft baked cookie base by Mullenberry. Like, what kind of cookie would you call that? I know it's a newer flavor.
it's kind of like what I described the cookie bite to be, because what I got from it is like a chocolate chip cookie without the chocolate chips. So it's kind of what it is. It's just kind of like a sugar cookie without the sugar.
nice. Sounds very pretty versatile.
Yeah, so far, I mean, I've only used it in this recipe, but I like it in there. Like I can taste it in there. There's a little bit of texture to it, but not too much.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you get enough of like the cookie texture?
Yeah, it's like a little grainy, but not as like crispy or whatever as like a Flavor Art, because I don't like Flavor Art cookie. I find it too crunchy. So yeah, I quite like that flavor. I want to use it in other stuff. Still sad about my one-on-one butter pecan though.
Okay. Let's go. Soft baked cookie base is going on my list.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to get it.
Yeah, it's one of their newer flavors. I imagine Bull City might pick it up at some point, but they just got the last batch in of like their last release.
Yeah.
So
Might be a while. I'll keep checking. Yeah, Mullenberry is hard to get sometimes for me.
Yeah, they only recently became more available, like maybe the last year or so. For a while, you could only get it on, I think Vapors Tech had some. And then there was like one other place, maybe Vapor Supply. They have everything. But yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. This looks good. Looks really good. All right, I'll go next. So mine's pretty short and sweet, kind of like they always are. So for the cookie, I used a combination of Jungle Flavors biscuit at 1%, and then I went with Cookies and Cream by Vape Train at 2%. Cookies and cream, it's not, you think, you read the title and you think it's like an Oreo or something. It's not. It's like sugar cookies and milk, basically, flavor. Like, it's really good. And then for the butter pecan, I went with one-on-one butter pecan ice cream. It's not quite as like potent or bold as one-on-one butter pecan, but it's got a really nice kind of creamy texture. And I wanted a lot of ice cream in this. And then I backed it up with 3% of Vape Train toffee ice cream, just for some more like dark sweetness. You know, the cookies and cream has a nice light, creamy kind of sweetness, but I wanted to kind of bring it darker. But I didn't want to use like Inawera biscuit because I think that's just like too dark of a cookie. I wanted a little bit of a lighter cookie with like a darker ice cream, and that's just kind of what I get. And this is just, it's rich and like unctuous, as Chibo would say, and decadent. It's really good.
Yeah, I like the idea of the toffee in there. I feel like toffee would go really well with like a butter pecan.
Yeah, it really does. They go really well. In fact, they kind of blend into one flavor. Like I don't get toffee and butter pecan. I just kind of get like one dark, sweet, nutty flavor, and it's really good.
I imagine it almost be like a, what do they call those stupid things? Like a Cracker Jack, but the other one like the Fiddle Faddle, where it's like a toffee glaze over the nut.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yep.
Nice.
Only ice cream. It's really good.
I'm tempted to throw that into mine.
You should give it a try. Yeah, it's such a good flavor, that toffee ice cream. It's really good. Because it's not like Flavor toffee is my favorite toffee if I'm going for just something with toffee in it. But this is a little bit softer and creamier, and it's a good toffee ice cream, like it says,
Vape Train makes a lot of good toffee. Like
Yeah,
I don't think you like it, or somebody doesn't like it. The English toffee.
I like the English. I do. I like the English toffee, and I even like the butter toffee base too.
Yeah, I think it might have been Jarvis that didn't like it. Somebody didn't like it.
Yeah, I like them. In
My
fact,
dad, and he was like in love with it.
Folk Art used that combo of those two toffees, and he made a butter beer for one of Jarvis's shows. And I still vape that today. Like, it is really good. It's a good combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make it. They do some good stuff.
Yeah. And to answer the question, if you didn't get it already, the Vape Train toffee ice cream is very good.
Mm-hmm.
William.
Yes, William. It's really good. I'm glad you got a 30 ml of it. You'll like it.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than getting a big size of something you end up hating.
Yeah, I know, right?
I try to pawn it off on other people.
Yeah.
I mean, they might like it. I'm picky, so.
That's right.
But yeah, my dad's super picky, and he loves the butter toffee base. It pairs well with butterscotch because it has a similar profile.
I bet that'd be good.
Yeah.
It's very, very buttery.
Yeah, but you have to like the butter.
Yeah.
Too much for me.
I'm like, the more like rich it is or buttery it is, the better. I like the bakeries that are just real like heavy.
Yeah, I don't.
And this is it. So if you don't like heavy stuff that's buttery, you're not gonna like this. But oh man, this is right up my alley. This is perfect.
I feel like I would still potentially like yours.
Yeah, maybe.
But like I tried my dad's mix and it was too much for me. Like between the butterscotch and that, it was just like,
it might be because I mean, like, you can almost chew it. Like, it's so it's so heavy, and just give it a try though. Let me know what you think if you do.
hopefully I think I have everything. And you said that, did you go over what the cookies and cream is?
Oh yeah, the cookies and cream. It's like sugar cookies and milk.
Okay.
So like it's really good. It's very sweet, very heavy. It reminds me a lot of, back in the day when Christy VR did his sugar cookies and cream, and then Dave did like a simpler version of the simple sugars and cream or something. I forget what he called it, but like it reminds me of that mix. Because I mean, like, you could vape it all on its own and it would be perfect,
Yeah, I haven't tried that one just because I'm not a fan of chocolate vapes, but if it's not chocolate,
there's no chocolate in it at all. Yeah, it's just like a sugar cookie with milk, or like a thicker kind of a frosting cream. It's real sweet.
Nice. Looks good.
Yeah.
Lumi, you ready?
I suppose.
Oh.
I suppose. So I used this week's recipe for an excuse to go after Liquid Barn's Snickerdoodle.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's okay. I don't really like that you have to use it at 6%. I won't go with what I use, but it's like 6 to 8% is what you want to start using it at, and that just, for me, that seemed a little outrageous. And yeah, I still went with it. I tried to make it work. I backed up the Snickerdoodle cookie with cookie butter by Wonder Flavors, cookie biscotto by FA, to try to get it a little bit more backbone, like a buttery backbone. And of course I used golden butter by Capella because butter. I like butter. For the pecans, I had a good butter pecan. Mine didn't go bad yet. So I used that. I haven't even said the percents. I'm such a noob. I'm such a noob. I'll do that after. I'll just explain my thought process.
Sure.
Butter pecan I used for my pecan nuts. Caramel candy as a back note for like just a little bit of sweetness to go on top of that snickerdoodle. And vanilla ice cream by Liquid Barn for that ice cream. It's my favorite ice cream. You can tell Fresh taught me well.
Nice. That's a good ice cream to use.
So far I've really liked the way this recipe came out. I don't have the kind of intricate palate where I could be like, ooh, this is exactly what I'm tasting, but I'm getting the notes that I was going for. So for me, that's good. It felt like it was plenty sweet on its own. Like I vaped it the day that I made it and I enjoyed it. And then I put it aside because I enjoyed it so much. I knew I needed to at least wait a week. Now that I'm vaping it a week later, the butter pecans definitely really pulled through. The snickerdoodle found its own little niche in there. So
Nice.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, this is really good. I like how you use get a little bit of caramel candy to back up that butter pecan. That's a cool idea.
I'm really enjoying it. It feels right now it feels plenty sweet, but I'm also not a sweetener kind of person. I guess I'll go over the percents now. I used butter pecan by 1-on-1 at 1.73 because I knew I wanted the butter pecan to be upfront. Caramel candy by TPA 0.74 because it was just a side back note looking for a candied gooey caramel. And cookie biscotto FA was a side note to back up my snickerdoodle, so that was at 0.71. Cookie butter, another back note to my snickerdoodle, so 0.67. Golden butter was definitely just something to throw in there for that fattening taste, so 0.17. Snickerdoodle 6.52, main cookie note. And ice cream by Liquid Barn 5%.
This looks really good. And I think the cookie butter would back up that this kind of the spice note in it would go really well with that snickerdoodle.
Yeah, I tried that snickerdoodle. I didn't care for it.
I definitely I understood what you were saying because I had to put it aside. The steep time on it is ridiculous, especially since you're using it at such a high percent. You would expect it to be very forward and upfront.
Yeah, you'd think it would be good right away, but no, you gotta let it sit.
Well, I'm gonna keep
It's
mine.
almost like harsh right away. Like you know how like a lot sometimes flavors that are trying to be spicy, they're kind of like harsh and astringent and like thin. So you gotta kind of let it sit for that cookie part to come out and round off the edges of that spice.
Yeah.
I think it definitely rounded up just a little bit. Like it all came together compared to vaping it the first day and then waiting for the last night to try it.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. This looks good too. You got all your mixes look really good. So we did have a couple play alongs today. I'm so excited about.
Sam is back.
Sam is back. So he made one called Creamed Cookie. And he uses 0.75% FA Bavarian cream, 1.5% Nowhere biscuit, 2% Flavora cookie, 0.75% of TFA malted milk, 3% Mullenberry milkshake, 0.5% Capella super sweet, and 2% FA vanilla ice cream.
Malted milk is interesting.
Yeah. That, you know, that flavor, it gets a bad rep. Like, because I think people use it too high, but when you use it down low, I don't know if I've gone up to 0.75% before, but I've used it at 0.5% and 0.25%. It gives like a really good, like dairy, like a malted milk, like a full dairy, you know, flavor to it. And so I think with because the FA vanilla ice cream it's good, but it's kind of like, like it's just kind of middle of the road. I think when he adds that Mullenberry milkshake and the TFA malted milk, I think that would make it a really nice ice cream.
The malt might add to the cookie too.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
I don't know. I've never had it. Milks kind of scare me, so like unless I get glowing reviews from people, I stay away.
As well, they should. They are scary.
Yeah.
And of course that Indoor biscuit and Flavor cookie, that I think would be a really good combination. You get plenty of that kind of dark, crispy cookie texture out of that.
Well, Sam is in chat. Can you explain what you use the malted milk for? Just so we know. I like his mixes because there's usually like a curveball in there. It's like,
yeah,
why did you add that?
yeah, he's pretty creative with his mixes.
I always find it interesting because it's, I mean, that's a good thing about having so many people mix the same thing is you can pick notes like, oh, this did that for you. I'll try that. Like you get to learn tricks from people.
Definitely. Yeah, because I don't know if I would use the malted milk and the mullenberry milkshake. Like I would think one or the other would have been sufficient.
Okay, so he was just messing with stuff.
Eh,
Yeah, the milkshake by
brings all the boys to the yard.
Huh?
Brings all the boys to the yard.
No, not at all. It's a little weird to me, but again, I'm kind of picky about stuff.
I like it. I like mullenberry milkshake a lot. And I think it's just I think it's a perfect addition here to that, to kind of spice up that ice cream. Because I mean, it's a good, like FA vanilla ice cream to me is like, it's a good dairy full flavor, you know, but it's just kind of like meh, like it's just kind of bland. Where you add that malted milk in that milkshake, I bet it's pretty good. This looks good job, Sam, and thank you so much for playing along.
Yeah, the vanilla gelato to me is a bit thin for an ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
So having those other flavors definitely, I think, would maybe thicken it up, give it more body. Because I mean, the milkshake by Mullenberry definitely has body to it.
For sure, it does. And I like the vanilla note in the FA vanilla ice cream, but you're right, it's a little thin. So,
and I mean, if it's a gelato, that might be why, because it's kind of vague. It says it's gelato vanilla whatever. So
is gelato like by nature thicker than ice cream?
I thought it was more of like an ice, like a. I don't know. I'm not Italian. Well, actually, I am, but not by a lot.
Shame on you then.
I never knew I was Italian until I did the DNA, whatever. So
okay.
Those
it's
things
negligible.
Are not trustworthy. I don't believe them.
All right, so we have one more play along. On ELR, he's known as Noogie, Nuggi. But his name is, oh God, I'm not going to pronounce this correctly, and I'm so sorry. Met Wrestlun Hodso. I'm sorry if I completely butchered your name, Met. I'm just calling you Noogie. That's an ass name.
Did it all for the Noogie.
Did it all for the Noogie. All right, he did creamy cookies surrounded by walnuts. And he used 3.85% Wonder Flavors butter pecan pie. Oh my God, that's good. That's a good flavor. 1.7% JF Jungle Flavors cookie. 2.1% of a flavor I've never heard of before, Vape Train Hokey Pokey ice cream. 0.5% Wonder Flavor shortbread cookie. 0.3% Pure Alum super sweet. 0.75% vanilla cream extra, my favorite. And the 0.25% Wonder Flavors walnut.
Yeah, I have to say I've never heard of the Hokey Pokey.
Me neither.
I've heard of the Hokey Pokey, but I've not heard of the flavor called Hokey Pokey, and I am seriously intrigued.
Yeah, so if any of you in chat have tried this flavor, please let us know what it's like, because it sounds really interesting and I need to get it in my life.
It says it's this sweet and strong toffee followed by a medium thick vanilla ice cream.
That sounds great. And that butter pecan pie by Wonder Flavors, oh man.
That would make sense too,
It's
because
so
Vape
good.
Train does a lot of really good toffee stuff. So
Yeah, they do.
it's going on the list now. Thank you.
Right? Totally. Does Bull City have it?
Yeah, it says it's a toned down version of the butter toffee base.
Okay. Interesting.
So maybe good for me since the other
Yeah,
stuff is a little too heavy.
maybe.
They have some interesting names.
Yeah.
Might be a thing in Australia. Do we have any Australians in the house? Is y'all hokey pokeys different than ours?
I only know the dance. What's a hokey pokey?
Yeah.
That's about.
Where to go?
Well, Noogie, thank you so much for playing along. This looks intriguing to say the least.
Yeah, I forgot about that butter pecan pie.
Yeah, me too. This is why I like when other, lots of people mix up the same profile, because it gives you ideas and you're like, oh yeah, like I could have done that. Or that butter pecan pie is just, it's phenomenal. And it's not a one of the super concentrate, it's one of their older like first lines. So that 3-4% mark that he used it at is right spot on.
I imagine does it have a pie crust in it, or is it just like the beginning?
A little bit, but mostly it's just like the middle, like the filling part. It's not too crust heavy.
I was gonna say that might help to the cookie part of it, but if it's not really there, then
yeah.
I'm over here trying to Google the whole hokey pokey thing, and all I'm getting is a dance. I'm not getting any kind of dessert from New Zealand.
I just clicked on the name in the ELR and it took me to notes. So I wasn't about to Google it.
I have the Google Assist, so all I have to do is ask Google.
Yeah.
Because I'm lazy.
Honeycomb toffee.
Yum.
Honeycomb toffee is really good.
Hokey pokey. Interesting. Yeah. We'll have to find it and give it a go. All right. Well, so next week is one of the more abstract pictures. James, if you want to put that up, if you have it, it's a gentleman in a bathtub holding onto a flower in his mouth. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's like a vanilla blossom, right?
I have no idea.
Doesn't vanilla have like flowers that look like that?
Flowers all look alike to me.
in milk or something. So
I'm not going to say what I said.
No, we don't. Guys, use your imagination. You can figure it out what Rin said. We don't need.
Was it worse than what I said?
It might have been along the same lines. I don't know. We're not
probably the same thing. Anyway, this looks like it will be really interesting because I don't know what a dude tastes like. But I'm going with something milky and vanilla probably.
Depends on their diet.
Rin and I can take a note from each other because we talked about our experiences the other night. So Rin and I will team up for this one.
Not fair.
You wouldn't have want to have been part of that conversation, Emily. I know you would have been dead.
Probably right. You're probably right.
It would have been your classic segue. So
anyway,
it would be more like I'm gone. Bye.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, guys, I gotta go anywhere but here.
Yep, I have that thing gotta do.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that'd be fun and interesting. We can kind of use a little bit of creativity Yeah, and that could be any kind of, flower. Like there's some good floral flavors that would pair very well, like with a cream or vanilla. So, yeah.
Like lumbus
No.
bread. Like lumbus bread, enjoy at 5%.
I know you diss on lemon spread, but man, I love that flavor.
You would hate the reason why I hate the flavor lumbus.
You told me why.
Larry's in chat. He said that was awkward to listen to while playing Call of Duty. Oh, sorry, Larry. That's what you get.
It could have been worse, All right, guys. Let's thank our sponsors and get on out of here. Apologize for the short show, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You rock. Thank you to our sponsors, Flavora. Thank you, Bull City, flavorstogo.ca. Thank you so much, Scott, over at All the Flavors, for hooking us up with an account so we can have everything all at one convenient location.
Add the new Mollenberry flavors.
Yeah. We need to do that. You need to tell me what they are. I can add them, but I just need to have someone else confirm them. So if you want to send me links to them on Discord or something, I can do that. And Wayne, thank you so much for putting us on your podcast network. We really appreciate it. And all you guys, you rock. We love you. I'll say
check out our one shots at E-cig. Check out our merch at vapingswag.com.
That's right. All three of us have merch at vapingswag.com. And the five of us have the one shots at E-cig Express. And so if you like what we do and you want to support us, please buy that. Give us tacos. That was really awkward too. All right, guys. Bye. Love you. Bye.
I'm gonna turn you into a perv.